What's up guys, Roti here with our main man Joel, providing us with yet another deck profile, so please do take it away.
Thank you. This is my Naturia Horus Runick, the limited tree, so I'm trying some other stuff. It's obviously not as good as 3 tree was, but I want to play it, and it's working well enough. Maybe win a locals, potentially win a locals, but I wouldn't take it too much further and expect much of it. It's really cool, it's fun, but it has its issues, which you'll see. We've got 3 Camellia here, 3 Mole Cricket, the 1 Sunflower, 3 Blessing, and only the 1 tree. This still, you can turn 1 do the same sort of stuff that you could do with 3 trees, but you lose some of the follow-up, and opening tree can really suck. It used to be a starter, it now more often than not is a brick, with hands like Cricket Tree. Well, Cricket Tree's okay, but Tree on its own no longer does anything, because you can't search the Cricket to do anything with the Cricket. Well, you can search the Cricket, but Cricket, summoning Camellia, you can then no longer dump the second tree to proc tree to search your Blessing. So it kind of stops dead there, just gets you level 4 tuner, and helps you make a 10 synchro sometimes. But there's your Naturia stuff. Definitely a lot worse now that tree's at 1, but it's good enough turn 1 sometimes. Then the Horus stuff, got 3 Mseti, 1 Happy, 1 Dramatef, and 1 of the King Sark. Just run over these quickly for people that don't know what they do. Mseti, play 3 of it because you can discard itself and another card to add King Sark and then draw 1 card. King Sark says you can discard a card to send another Horus name from the deck to grave up to 4 times per turn. And then these guys are all inherent summons once per turn while you control this from the grave. So they're good bodies for stuff you'll see in the extra deck later, and they also have pretty solid on-field effects to just leave them around. This one, if a card leaves the field by your opponent's card effect, you draw up to a number of different names you control in the main monster zone. This one can add back from either player's banished or grave to hand, and this one can send another card, all triggering if a card leaves by your opponent's card effect. And then just we play the 2 Shufflers. Pretty solid interruption, solid discards, and they also help you recycle your engine, things like Tree, sometimes Camellia, and Hugins as well. Putting them back often comes up and helps your grind game continue a bit more, with a bit more variety, rather than just playing Runick after turn 3. Speaking of the Runicks, we have the 2 Fountain, 3 Tip, 3 Freezing, Flashing, Destruction, Slumber, and then 1 Smiting and 1 Dispelling. I think most people should be familiar with these cards by now. They're pretty good, especially in combo piles like this where you're synchroing off the stuff you're summoning from the extra deck to always have something activatable to proc your Fountain. And then for a bit additional non-engine, we got 3 Ash and 3 Imperms. This does take it over 40 with these, but I feel like you just really can't get away without at least some hand traps around, and I think these are the best ones. Even with this being a dead draw off Fountain in your opponent's turn, I think I'd rather be playing this than Veiler, just because I don't want to be giving needless value to things like Thrust if I don't have to. It's just genuinely better for things like dealing with a Baron on your turn as well. I just think it comes up a lot more. than dead draws. Onto the extra deck, 2 Hugin and 2 Gary for the Runicks. I was playing Sleipnir, but I think this extra deck is very tight and it just does not come up enough for me. It was like the 16th card in here, I think, was probably the Sleipnir. But, you know, it's definitely an option. But these two I wouldn't change at all. I think you need 2 of both. If you're dropping down to 1 Gary, you're losing a lot of your follow-up synchro plays and access to Fountain. And if I'm playing 2, means that I don't feel that if I've got a shuffler access, I don't feel I have to put back a Gary that I've used. Because I'm more often than not wanting to at some point. Onto the synchros, we've got Nat Beast and the 2 6s. We've cut the Barkion. Again, extra deck is tight, and I feel like going first, if you're going to make any of them blind, it's always Nat Beast over Barkion, because you don't know you're playing Lab until they set a load of cards. And then we've got the Coral Dragon and the Tri-Edge. Tri-Edge is a slightly power-grepped Stardust Charge, in a way. Both of these just, you know, they're good. Coral can pop on your way up, and they both draw you a card when they're making you a 10. The 10s being Chengying and Baron. There is the option for a Light and Dark Chaos Angel with these, or Hugin plus Mseti. Mseti is a dark, if I can find him. Where did I put Mseti?
Might be in the bottom pile, I think, potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is.
There you go.
Nice.
Mseti is a dark, so you can make Light and Dark Chaos Angels with both of these, which is an option, but I found that if I was going for a turn 2 push like that, I was more struggling with things that Chaos Angel couldn't target, which is why playing the Dingirsu instead to make with 2 of the Horus things kind of covers a bit more base, because we've got things like Baron, Coral Dragon, that can rip through boards quite easily with targeting. I think this is just, yeah, it loses the Chaos Angel protection and stuff, but I think this is very strong and still protects in some ways, so pretty solid. And we do also play Scarlight as an 8. Comes up sometimes as like a momentum swing to clear a board. And if you can get to the grind game, you tend to win the grind game very often. There's not many things that can outgrind you from that position. So something that can force something to a grind game from a losing position is very strong. That's why we play Scarlight. Also comes up in time situations. And then we have Dagores, Bagushka for 2 rank 4s. Dagores is really good in the grind as well, and Bagushka, if you get shifted, you know, just a good plan B for something to go into if your hand's not doing too well. And then another option that we have is the Giant Trainer. This guy, 3 level 8s, and you just draw 3 cards. He's pretty strong in resolves, and obviously a massive magnet for something like an Imperm, which a lot of the time when you pitch down to keep 1 card in hand, which might be your Cricket to be able to summon this guy, just the fact of baiting a hand trap before you go Cricket into Camellia and all that stuff is huge. And then the last one is Little Knight. Don't need to tell anyone why this card is so good, especially not with 2 20-something E-tellies for extra deck monsters. Little Knight is unbelievably good. Resetting Baron Negate comes up, dodging evenlies, all stuff like that, and obviously just being a generally good interruption on your opponent's turn as well. So like I said, the deck, it can definitely play, not as well as Nat Runick ever did pure, but still definitely worth a look. And if you enjoyed Nat Runick, I think you'll be enjoying this variant as well. Maybe with some more frustrating hands occasionally, but we had them anyway. I'll move on to the side deck. I feel like a lot of this is just personal preference, you know, whatever you're expecting at your locals or whatever tournament you're going to, the things you're expecting to see. But I'm playing 3 Droll, 3 Nib, 3 Evenly, 3 Tikaboo, so you get an idea of things you can be using. And then I also have the 1 Munin, and this is where the Barkion lives now. And the last one of just Duster. Like Tikaboo can be really good going first, and then I'll often go in second, just side out the Horus stuff for whichever 6 of these I think are best. Most of the time you can fit in 6 quite easily, and the Horuses just make it very nice to have something to take out that isn't really, it's not great into an Omni Negate, having such obvious choke points. So I prefer to take them out and put some of this stuff in.
It's time! Let's go!